Hour 3, Big Sil's National Football Show. Appreciate you guys coming aboard. Don't get caught up in touchdown stats. Troy Aikman never threw 30 touchdown passes either. He won 3 Super Bowls. Who do you want to be? Phillip Rivers? Or do you want to be Troy Aikman? Who would you rather be? Aikman is one of just a few men that have won multiple Super Bowls. He's got 3 Super Bowls in 4 years. He didn't throw 30 touchdowns. He had Emmitt Smith, a great running game. Hello, Philly. Michael Irvin. Hello, A.J. Brown. Right? Jalen doesn't have to put up the stats. Hey, quite frankly, it's more of a testament of how the team's being built in Philly and Howie getting a lot of credit for it. When you have Patrick Mahomes and you have Josh Allen, dude, those guys are relied to do a lot. Okay? Hurts hasn't even beat Dak. He would be 30 passing and 20 running. Never happening in a million years will Jalen Hurts ever see 30 touchdown passes and 20 touchdown rushes. He'll be injured by the end of the year. Nobody in league history has ever done that, and no one will. It's too demanding. You're going to ask a guy to carry the ball. For 20 touchdowns, you're going to need 300 carries. Jalen Hurts is not going to get 300 carries. 20 touchdowns. Derrick Henry doesn't do that. How do you? Absolutely out of your mind. Sills, I notice every time you say Hurts won't do something, he does it. Okay, well, here's something he'll never do. Throw for 30 touchdowns or rush for 20 touchdowns. Ever. 90s Cowboys are not that different than today's Eagles. Right. Absolutely. It's why I made the comparison. Jalen's asked to do more than Aikman, I think. I think he's actually asked to do more. I think he's a better athlete than Troy. Yet to be determined if he'll win, and if you'll have the coaching staff and the personnel department and a guy who understands talent like Jimmy did. Let me say something to you also. One more thing about Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy Johnson changed the landscape of trades in today's NFL. He was the first. The reason why you see more activity in NFL trading today is because of what JJ did. In JJ's 5 years, was it? Jimmy Johnson had 65 trades to get draft choices. The league prior to that, nobody traded because them old school general managers held on to those first-round draft choices and to their draft picks like they were gold. Jimmy didn't give a shit. He didn't care. If I could get Charles Haley, fine. If I could make a trade to get a Tony Casillas, fine. That's how he looked at it. I'll plug a hole up. I'll give you a 5th-rounder for a guy who could come in and give me 11 sacks. Charles Haley was the linchpin in that whole Cowboy dynasty. Johnson changed how you do trades today. Okay? Allen ain't shit. Then what is Jalen, 85? What is Jalen? If Allen ain't shit, what's Jalen? He's done 10 times less than him. What has he won? His biggest wins are over Cooper Rush and Kirk Cousins. That's a fact. And they've beat a boatload of shitty teams. Not his fault. I get it. And they have beaten, to his credit, the 2 best teams in the NFC this year. It's true. But they haven't won anything except admiration. Okay? Except that he could throw 4 more tomorrow night. Absolutely better. It's the shitty. It's the second shittiest team in the NFL. He should. No, Danny. Dykstra's not coming on. As much as I would like to have Dykstra on the program, my aunt would absolutely veto that. That's not happening. We're not having the woman pleaser on. That's not going to happen. Hurts lets Eagle fans down when he plays Dak. I don't know. We'll see what happens here. Hey, RJ, let's hang in there on that. I want to see him. Okay? But we may run a lot tomorrow night. Hey, Maniac, I think that's the game plan. That's why I say the Eagles are going to do exactly what it takes. You know what, too? I'll tell you this. I just thought of this, Maniac. One of the coolest things about Jalen, can you imagine going to Aaron Rodgers and going like, you couldn't do it to Dan Marino. Can you imagine going to Dan Marino going, hey, Dan, we're not going to throw the ball today. We're going to run it. He'd look at you and go like this, kiss my ass. That's not what we're doing. If Shane Steichen and Nick Sirianni go, hey, the game plan this week is, I think he's open to everything. Brady was always open to it too. Brady could throw for 155 and not care as long as he got the dub. Right? And so tomorrow night, worst run defense in the league. What are you going to do? Throw it? Why? Why would I do that? You're right, Maniac. He may not have a touchdown pass tomorrow night. But the Eagles are going to run for 245 yards tomorrow night. You know what? You're going to be healthier because you're going to do that. Hey, it's easier to run block than pass probe. You get more injured on pass protection in the O-line than you do on run blocking, believe it or not. So I expect them to run the ball. I'd run the ball 40 times tomorrow night. Keep everybody healthy. That's a cool thing about the team, too. Nobody's bitching about targets. No, you don't have a T.O. crying about, hey, where are my targets? See, guys like Odell Beckham. Odell Beckham, here's a great game for him. 14 targets, 10 catches, 135 yards. Did you win? I don't give a shit. That's today's wide receivers. And when you got a couple of those guys on your team, I don't give a shit if we win. I only care about my targets. Quarterbacks, I only care about my attempts. Jalen throws the ball away on the sidelines more than any quarterback I've seen in a long time. You know why he does that? He doesn't want to give up minus yards. Kudos to him. Kudos to him. I like the way he plays. I do. I like the way he plays because he thinks it's wrong. He unlike Kyler Murray. Here, this is all I see when I see Kyler Murray, and you guys know my opinion on him. Always crying and bitching. This guy has a diva wide receiver mentality, playing the quarterback position. If I was Cliff Kingsbury, one of these big college jobs that came up, I'd take it and get out of there. I don't want to coach him. I would not want to coach a baby like that. Takes his little pacifier. I hate to play. This guy sucks on a binky. Always blaming someone else too, right, Sal? Jalen doesn't do any of that shit. He doesn't do any of that. This guy goes, whatever it takes to win, I don't care. Such a refreshing attitude to have with a kid today that plays the ball game the way you want to see a guy play it. I really like it, man. You guys think I hate? Hey, I'm warming up to him like I warmed up to Lamar Jackson. Okay? Good job. You didn't rob the bank. Okay. So when Dak doesn't get his throws, you want to know why the Cowboy offense sucks so bad? Got to get Dak his throws. Running game has gone the other way. There's no question the reason why Dak Prescott looks like a turd out there is because, why? Running game sucks in Dallas. They're not effective enough running it. Play action, I don't buy it. If I'm a coordinator, don't buy play action. Tony Pollard's your best back. But yet you got Jerry Jones still in love with his boy Zeke. Zeke's finished. This guy looks like Todd Gurley barely running the ball. The treads on that guy, he got his money. Something happened in Cabo. Somebody put some like voodoo dust on him or something. He sucks. This guy's averaging like 60 yards a game, and I pay you $20 million? Get the... You just real... He sucks, dude. Zach Martin's not the same. Zeke say hello to Hollywood. Oh, okay. Really? That's his next venture? Yeah, okay. Well, I tell you what, I think he's already trying out for a role called running back. He's not doing a very good job. He's failing the audition. The other guy in the room's better. Is he hurt too? I bet Jerry likes that. So you got a hurt Zeke Elliott, making $20 million a year. You got an overpaid quarterback who you couldn't make a move yesterday because you're so wedged against the cap and you know what the numbers look like the next 3 years. Good luck to you, Dallas. You cannot. The Cowboys can't do anything. They can barely draft guys. They can barely draft guys. How bad is a team if their fans watch rival team shows? They got to, hey, what are you rooting for in Dallas? Cooper Kupp? No, excuse me. Cooper Rush? That's it. The guy sucks too. Hey, Sills, he's 4-0. Okay. Jeff Hostetler won a Super Bowl too. Who cares? Cooper Rush. Cooper Rush was fired by the Giants. Guy's 28 years old, and guy's got Bayless, who's a cowboy blowhard, going like this. Oh, my God, it's the greatest substitute teacher thing I've ever seen. He must have forgot Earl Morrall. Earl Morrall went 11-0. In the undefeated Dolphin season, Greasy didn't play that year until the playoffs. You talk about a substitute teacher? This guy was past his time. He was the 68, 69 MVP. I know Coach Morrall because he was on my Miami Hurricane coaching staff. I happen to really love Earl Morrall. He's a good man. And he's a very underrated player. Dak Prescott. Okay. That guy blows. For the money you're paying him, Jimmy Garoppolo's better. Garoppolo outplays him. Career stat-wise, better win percentage, completion percentage, playoff record. Come on. And you're paying him $9 million. You're paying the other guy $42, and he's less of that guy. They say Dak's a top 7 quarterback. Here, let me tell you the quarterbacks I would take over him. Over Prescott. Allen, Mahomes, Burrow, Hurts. Shit, Cousins. What's the difference? Jimmy G? Kyler Murray. Lamar Jackson. Justin Herbert. Man, I'm bored now. I'm bored. NFL Coach of the Year. Geno's out playing Dak. Don't do that to them, man. They'll really have a shit cow over that one. Imagine this. If you had Geno Smith on the Cowboys, you'd probably be in a better position to beat the Eagles than with Dak Prescott. Okay? Dak ain't settled shit, guys. Garoppolo went in there last year and bounced the Cowboys. Bang, bang. It was like Jordan taking a jump shot. Dak. It beat Seattle. Hey, I got my win against Seattle. Oh, my God. Look at what Tone just dropped some love on you guys. Geno's the new Rich Gannon. Very good comparison. Very good. Yeah, the Cowboys are so desperate now, they miss Cooper Rush. Yeah, okay. Let's move on. This also bores me. My 5 NFL Coach of the Year candidates and at the midseason report card. By the way, we're going to do this for the entire league, the midseason report card and the awards. Here we go. By the way, please hit the like button. Number 5, Mike McDaniel. Dude, and plus they get that kid Hawkinson now from Detroit. And you've got Justin Jefferson. And you've got the way that offense is playing. Vikings have 1 loss. Hey, the Vikings ain't playing tough guys either. They're going to have the Vikings are battling it right now for home field advantage with the Eagles. The Eagles have the advantage over them. And if the Eagles have to lose 2 games to lose home field advantage to the Vikings right now. Okay, they would have to lose 2 games. Because if it's tied, the tiebreaker goes to the Eagles because they beat them. Head-to-head competition is the next variable that you have when you're talking about home field advantage. So the Vikings, dude, it's totally an upgrade from Mike Zimmer. Number 4, I know they've bounced a little bit here. Kevin O'Connell. I like the job that he's doing with the Dolphins. I do. I don't know about you, but I watch the Dolphins now. No disrespect to Brian Flores. They look better. Now, look, Tyreek Hill wasn't there when Brian was there, so I get it. Okay? I get it. I understand that. But I don't know, man. Okay? Oh, excuse me. O'Connell is Vikings. McDaniel is Dolphins. Excuse me. Thank you very much, Tone. My mistake. Yeah, Omar, thank you. Right. Look, I think the kid in Miami has done a fantastic job. I really do. I think he's done a fantastic job. And Tua looks better right now. He looks better than he did under Flores. Flores, you see, okay, Flores wanted Deshaun Watson. Okay? He is, man. And look, I think this guy McDaniel, I think he's got the Dolphins looking better. I just do. I like Brian Flores. I think Brian Flores, I hope he gets another opportunity to become a head football coach. Number 3, I never thought that I would ever say this about a coach today after a very rough offseason. Pete Carroll is 3rd. Pete Carroll. They not only are playing better than the Broncos, they actually beat the Broncos already. He saved a career in Geno Smith. I don't know. Do you know what I think? I know that Pete Carroll, he had a Hall of Fame career already carved out. Pete Carroll's doing a better job right now without his Hall of Fame quarterback than what Bill Belichick is doing without his Hall of Fame quarterback. Is that fair? Carroll's doing more of a rebuild job in Seattle than what Belichick is doing in New England. This guy's winning with a cast-off quarterback in Geno Smith. Pete Carroll's a Hall of Fame coach. He has solidified this with me now. After the Russell Wilson, because you always wonder what a coach. Look at George Seifert. George Seifert had all those great quarterbacks. Well, he really only had Young. But he had Young and won all those games in San Francisco. Guy goes to Carolina. He blew. No one thought he was a Hall of Fame quarterback after that. And you're like this, and you're looking at Pete, and you're going, so he trades Russell Wilson away in the offseason. I thought the Seattle Seahawks were the worst team in the NFL. Shit, they're now leading the West after 8 games. Nobody would have thought that. It's a hell of a coaching job in Seattle by Pete Carroll. He's rebuilding Seattle. Belichick's kind of floundering. Big Sil's NFL Coach of the Year. Down to the final two. I've got Nick Sirianni at number 2. And again, this could change. This is the midseason report card. I think Nick has done a really fine job. When he had, is this a fair comment, or do you guys think this is not? I think Nick Sirianni has become a better coach since he's given up the play calling duties. I know he's involved in it. I'm not saying he's not. Shane Steichen's 16-4. And since that move, the offensive coaching staff is 16-4. 2-5 start. They come out now they're 16-4. I don't know, man. There's something to this. He just seems more balanced. Talking to the players. I don't know, man. He looks like a head coach. You know, Bill Parcells told me, I don't think people give this enough credit. You know how, here, follow me, guys. You know, the biggest transition that a football player has is from the college level to the pros. The guys at the pro level are so much smarter. The coaching is so much better. It really, I mean, that leap, you're playing against the best people in the world. You could be playing against the worst team in the NFL. But when you play against some of these players, they're the greatest players. Whether that team is 0-8 or you got a team that's 8-0, those guys are the best players in the world when you play against them. That leap to that level is a substantial leap. It's not even near the leap from high school to college. Like my leap from high school to college, it wasn't that substantial. It just wasn't that substantial. You know what I mean? But here, let me see what Tone says. The most valuable part of leadership is knowing your limitations. Absolutely, man. That's why Coach Johnson was never involved on game day play calling. Jimmy Johnson never called a play, defensively or offensively, in the history of his coaching career at both levels, college or pro, as a head coach. He never called a play, ever. He hired the best assistants he could. But do you know what the other transition is? Going from an assistant coach to the head guy is quite a leap for assistants. Nick made that leap from OC. Remember, he was a wide receiver coach in San Diego when Frank Reich was the offensive coordinator with the Chargers and Phillip Rivers. Then he goes to Indianapolis with Frank. He's on that coaching staff. He's been a position coach his entire life. Parcells said, that's why Bill sucked his first year. He goes, Sims, if we get through this, we're going to win some ball games here. And Bill knew that he had to become more of a head coach. Sirianni figured that out in his first year of coaching. After the 2-5 start, he goes, I got to be more focused on the team and not just the offense. Why do you think Sean McVay hired Wade Phillips as his first coach to coach his defense when he first came into the league? He wanted an experienced defensive coordinator so that he could make that easy transition into being a head coach. And then he ends up, what does he have now? He's got Raheem Morris. Raheem was a former NFL head coach with the Buccaneers. Okay? I mean, look at the guys that have had that job. All experienced dudes. So McVay can isolate himself as play calling head coach. Smart. Knowing your limitations, like Tone just said. So, yeah, Sirianni has done a great job. I got to tell you, at least at the halfway point, I'm going to tell you guys flat out, I don't really buy the Giants because I think their quarterback is below average. But Brian Daboll, to me, I think he's done the best job in the first half of the season coaching that team. That offense is horseshit. Their O-line is suspect at best. Barkley has done a nice job. Their defense has done really good things. Kayvon Thibodeau is a real deal. The new general manager's good. Gettleman was a train wreck. Judge and all them other idiots they had in there. You know, when they had Reese, and they had Tom Coughlin in the building, they wanted those guys out of the building, and they kept saying, "Oh, it's time for a new direction in New York. Let's get." So when they got rid of Reese and Coughlin, they have blown ever since then. I mean, they've been a train wreck. I can't remember the last time the Giants were relevant. But they've righted the ship there, man. Danny Dimes. Danny Pennies. Dude, Sydney, the limitations that New York has, it was on display against Seattle. So, McDaniel, O'Connell, Carroll, Sirianni, and Brian Daboll. Those are my 5, and Daboll being going from 5 to 1. The midseason NFL Coach of the Year. Sirianni close, though. That team has not they have not played down to a competition at all. I'm talking Philly. Danny Pennies. Guy's a turd. He's a total turd, man. All right. Let me give you now the NFL midseason awards. Okay? Geno Smith looked what? Geno Smith looked great last game. I mean, I don't know who that guy is. I don't know who that guy is. McDermott from the Bills. Reed. This could change. Andy, you could give him credit because of not having Tyreek Hill. Okay? Here are the midseason awards in the NFL, according to Big Sills. Comeback Player of the Year. I got Saquon Barkley coming back from his injury. But could you put Geno Smith in there? Could you put Geno in there as Comeback Player of the Year? He really didn't come back from an injury or anything. What's he coming back from? Being terrible? I don't know if that's a comeback. Okay? Barkley was injured. And he looks like the best back in the NFC. NFL. Now you could put, I don't know, you could make an argument for Geno here. Okay? But I got Barkley here because of the injury factor. My defensive rookie of the year. New York Jets. Sauce Gardner. That kid can play. Joe Douglas. He hit himself a home run there. That Sauce Gardner, man, he can play. He can play. He can, man. He can play. He's a good-looking football player. I believe the kid came from Cincinnati, right? So I got Sauce Gardner as the defensive rookie of the year. The offensive player of the year, rookie-wise. Kenneth Walker, Seahawks. The Michigan State kid. I love this kid. I'll do, man. I think this guy can play. Yeah, Drake London, I'll take this kid, Kenneth Walker, with Seattle. Guy's going to gain a lot of yards, man. I really love him, man. So the offensive player of the year, rookie-wise, Kenneth Walker. He's playing great football. Pete Carroll got himself a running back again. Hey, he's not Marshawn Lynch, but he can play, man. And, boy, I'll tell you, my wife and I loved him when he was at Michigan State. They played the Canes last year, and he was a force. And we were all like, whoever gets this kid, man, is going to get themselves a special ball player. This kid Walker could play. I like him. Can you imagine if the Eagles had drafted Kenneth Walker instead of Nakobe Dean? Dude, Nakobe Dean, I don't know. I'm just going to stay there on Switzerland with it. I don't know. Okay? I don't know. Number 4, the defensive player of the year, Michael Parsons. 8 sacks. Yeah, he and I go back and forth. We have a love-hate relationship on Twitter. And yeah, so I got Michael Parsons as the defensive player of the year. This is the midseason awards according to Big Sills. Didn't you guys take Devontae Smith over Michael Parsons? Huh. Interesting. Might want to revisit that one day. Didn't you? Didn't you guys actually trade with the Cowboys? Ooh. How he could have finally landed on an edge rusher. So wait a minute, Steve, you take Devontae over Michael Parsons? Come on, you don't mean that. Huh? Who would you rather have? Devontae Smith or Michael Parsons? Come on, that conversation's over with, right? He wanted to go to Dallas. Jerry didn't want him. Jerry wanted Patrick Surtain. Denver took him. And they fell into Michael Parsons. It wasn't like the Cowboys. All of a sudden, okay? Wasn't like the, okay? Wasn't like Michael Parsons was this Jerry Jones move like this. Look, hey, you see we got Michael Parsons. Micah didn't win the Heisman. Who gives a shit about the Heisman in the NFL? Let's see how many Heisman Trophy winners have won the MVP award. Let me think. OJ, Staubach, Cam, I'll get back to you. I'll get back to you. Yeah. Manziel won an MVP award? What league? The two-hand touch league? Eddie George, what MVP did he win? I must have missed that. Yeah. The offensive player of the year. Peterson didn't win it. Adrian did. Did Adrian win the Heisman? Did he win the Heisman? I know he won an MVP award. Did he win? Burrow won the Heisman. Burrow didn't win an MVP award. Tyreek Hill, your offensive player of the year. He's on pace for 2,100 yards. 2,100 yards. He's on pace for. Actually, Paul Hornung was a running back too, and he was a quarterback at Notre Dame when he won it. Earl Campbell won it. Allen, Barry, Cam. So since 1936, that's your list? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 guys and since 1936 have won the MVP award, that won the Heisman. Coach of the year, I've already said to you, Brian Daboll. And now, your midseason most valuable player, the Big Sills, midseason MVP, goes to Let me take a timeout. I got to think this. Hit the like button. Keep it here on the National Football Show.
Go to get your game on. Go for the beers. Go for the cheers. Go for the hit and the hits. Go for the stakes and the stakes. Go to get your parlay on. Go to get your party on. Go for the scene. Go for the screens. Go for the gallery. Go for the win. Go to Ocean. Visit theoceanac.com